Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Good morning, ladies.
So
Good
went
morning.
over what you talked about. I like the 10 tips for building an audience.
Hmm.
Be intentional. Be intentionally social. Ask more
Which is
questions.
so, I have to tell you though, Anna, that's really funny because what Amanda and I were talking about just a few minutes ago were kind of spawned from that because I was trying to not be like just, I was telling Amanda I'm purposefully, doing my thing.
Mhm.
And
Posting.
I got a couple comments that I just wanted to just like because I didn't want to address them. But you can't do that. You have to intentionally be social, because no matter what, you have to be engaged. You just can't like or love a post when you're trying to get interaction. And of course, so the person, when I did a very mediocre, oh, that's great, or I'm glad you have that, they went into another thing, so I had to do it again. But the point is that you have to work a little bit harder for those, but you got to do it. So
Mhm.
anyway, so that was really, when I saw that on here, I'm like, yeah, I learned my lesson this week.
Yeah, to be intentionally social. I I mean, okay. So in the last year, I've been working really hard at building an audience, right? I've been learning from the great Amanda Smith,
Oh God.
ah, and others, of course. But you
Yeah.
were the main one, Amanda, that I started to go, oh, this is a thing. I can do this. So, learning some tips and tricks from you, and then just consistently implementing them. But this be intentionally social, like you have to do more than just likes and hearts on things. You have to. And when you go into like the comment section of your own post or of other people's posts, you can't just say things like, "Oh, that's great." Okay. Yeah, you got to do a little bit more. You got to give a little bit more. And that's what we're going to be getting into today with our 10 tips is you can't just be a lurker on social media if you're trying to build an audience there. You can't just take, consume, consume, consume. You got to be there to give. And there's some days where it's harder than others to
And
go,
that's
okay.
why creating yourself somewhat of a system is good, because there's days where I just don't feel like engaging with people. I don't feel like asking questions. I don't feel like interacting. But then there's mornings I'll wake up and I'll be like, yes, let's do this. And I'm into it. And I sit there for
Yes.
an hour and actually post with intention, respond with intention. And it's more authentic. So don't think for 1 second that you have to sit here and do this every single day. You don't. As long as you're doing it a few times a week or what feels good to you, only when it feels good, because when it doesn't, it's not going to come through as authentic. It's just going to be like, here, I just feel like I have to do this. So let's just do this. No,
Yeah.
nothing comes from anything forced. So,
Yep. I agree with that 100% because I know that the energy I feel as I'm writing my posts and posting them, I can almost do a match of like how much engagement that post gets depending on what my energy was like when I posted it. Obviously, it's
mhm.
not 100% of the time matching, but you can often see that trend of like, oh, I feel like I have to post something. So let me find some company picture, let me find some meme, let me whatever, and I'll just put it up there because I know I should. It's on those days I go, okay, and then we need to address like your mood and your energy first before you even like step into that social space, because it's going to suck your energy rather than be a space where it can bring your energy up and then you can give to others. So
Well, you know what? I think that's actually even where we should always start every time we get on social media, because we're not doing this for just let's share our lives with our friends and family. And a lot of times, well, actually, ever since I did the Daily Spark, I've been intentional in my morning because I have to be like, you know what I mean? It doesn't just flow. And I've noticed doing that has really changed my perspective. Instead of just picking up the phone and being like, oh, okay, what can I do? Just really putting your mindset in it. Because when I was like, yeah, it's social media, you should be able to just jump on. But if you're not in that mindset, then you're not going to give, you're not going to receive. And it's just words or pictures or gifts or
Mhm.
whatever it is.
yeah.
So then let's get into this, because this basically, these 10 tips that we have that Anna has taken the time to write out, and they are all incredible. So we talked about be intentionally social. That's number one. So be intentionally social. So we kind of touched a little bit on that, being intentional on social media, you know?
Right.
And then number two is asking more questions. So that goes into when you're being intentional and you're writing posts and you're commenting and it's asking questions, not just like Kelly was saying a second ago, where you just feel like, oh, I'm just gonna heart that comment and just move on with my day. No, like intentionally ask a question to create some conversation. For one, it bumps your post. For two, it creates more engagement, and it allows other people to read your comments and start that conversation and get people thinking, get people talking. That's the purpose of social media. So it's knowing the right questions to ask, but how are you going to figure out the right questions to ask? Well, what do you think of when, you know, this person comments or whatever? What goes through your mind? Because I bet the same things go through other people's minds as well. So ask those questions that everybody's sitting there going, well, I should ask this question, but I'm too afraid. Like, what if, and then you get stuck in this mindset of, oh God, what are they going to think? Just ask the question, you know, and don't ask a yes or no question either.
True.
Got to use those open-ended questions.
Right.
Yeah. But you got to also be in the, I'm sorry, Anna, just real quickly though, you got to be in that mindset of, I'm going to answer the questions in the right way, because I find before I really became intentional, I found myself being like, I have a million other things in my mind. I got to go clean the kitchen. I got to start dinner. I got to do this. I got to do that. But really, if you're going to be effective, you do have to kind of be like, okay, I got to give this 30 minutes or even 20 minutes to this, and actually really come up with meaningful things. Because there are so many times you don't want to, but I think that's because we're doing so many things all at once, and we're not setting that extra time aside. And actually, I learned this from Amanda at the very, very beginning. You got to put that time aside to be able to put your whole into it. It's not just something you're doing in between.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
There's a time for multitasking, and there's a time to focus on one thing. And that's hard because you're like, oh, I'm a mom. I should be multitasking. I should be doing the laundry and the dishes and doing this and going here, going there. Oh my God, I got a comment. Do you know how overwhelming that feels? Your brain feels like it's spinning. And then it's like, oh my gosh. And you just can't wait to go get in bed and say, screw this. So when you're being intentional and you're actually setting aside the time, it's going to feel like you've accomplished something at the end of the day instead of feeling overwhelmed. So I truly believe there's a time for multitasking and there's a time for focusing on one thing.
Yes. So what you said about feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to comment now, is I've really enjoyed not feeling like I have to respond to comments or questions immediately. It's I give myself time to think about an answer. And this goes for whether it's in your, direct messages, whether it's in your Facebook Messenger, it's a text message, a voicemail, or a comment on a post, a question on a post. You are allowed to take time to answer that. It does not have to be immediate. So I think a lot of times with network marketers or direct salespeople, they feel like, oh my gosh, if I don't answer right now, I'm going to lose this client, this potential client. I'm going to lose her. She's going to go disappear. She's not. If she's meant for you, she'll wait for you to answer. And your answer is going to be more thoughtful, more caring, and more genuine than if you try to rush off a quick comment in between, going to the bathroom and fixing, washing your hands. Well, maybe you should wash your hands before you pick up your phone. But anyway, I think you get what I mean is some people, I mean, it all goes back to what Amanda was saying is you've got to have a system and a structure for yourself. If you're running around like crazy trying to answer all your messages and your comments in like the 30-second pockets of your day, you're going to stress yourself out. And we know as women, we do not want to raise cortisol levels because it does bad things to the midsection, right? We don't want that. So it really is roll back and say, when is a good time for me to take 5 minutes of undivided attention where I literally just sit on the couch, I do nothing else, and I answer my comments. If I don't get it all done in that 5 minutes, when is 5 other minutes? Maybe you have the luxury of time blocking like 2 hours of work time for yourself a day. Take 20 minutes of those and just focus on social. Being intentional about what you're posting, where you're commenting, asking good questions, taking time to just care about the people that you're interacting with. I think that's one thing, Amanda, you've done so beautifully, is I can tell that by that the questions you're asking and the information you're giving, which, by the way, you ask questions before you give info, just letting you know you do that. And I know that that's intentional. You have really built the know, like, and trust for your audience. They're comfortable now asking those questions on your, in comments and whatever. And, something else that's okay to do is you can make a post that's literally a question. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? If you want to know something about the person you're trying to serve, you can ask a question. And if anybody, the people listening to this podcast, if you have not become friends or followed Amanda Smith, she does this on the regular. I know Amanda's sitting here shaking her head like, oh my gosh, like, stop bragging about me. We can brag about you, because
Absolutely.
you may not feel like you do this as well as others, but you do it better than a lot. You're like on chapter 2 when a lot of people are just opening the book. You probably follow people that are on chapter 10. So you are just someone who knows a little bit more and has a little bit more experience doing this than a lot of people who are listening. So go out over there and follow her and just lurk a little bit and be like, how does she do this? Why does she do this? And that might be true about other people you're following. You're like, well, how does she kill it on social? Well, just start watching and observing. What is she doing? What is she not doing? How does that compare to what I'm doing? And adjust as you need to. You can pivot.
Right.
Pivot. That's right.
So Amanda, what is our third tip for building an audience?
Is learn how to take a selfie.
This is not my favorite.
People want to see the face behind the profile, like the person that's writing these posts. They want to see who this person is, make that connection. Know when you show up, they're like, oh, I know who she is. I've seen her pictures. So knowing how to take a selfie. I actually know a coach. I don't know her. I've just followed her. She actually is a selfie coach.
What?
She
That's
helps
awesome.
people take selfies. And I'm like, that's a thing?
Yeah.
But a lot of people struggle with this. They're like,
That
well,
would
how
be
do I
me.
angle? All right, how do I hold the camera? Do I angle it? How do I take the pose? Like, what am I supposed to do with my hands? Where is my, like, what should I do? Should I smile? Should I not smile? What do I do? And I'm going to be honest, I have, by trial and error, lots of practice, have mastered the selfie game. There are some selfies I take and I'm like, oh my God, I look like a hot mess. But you know what? I still post them. I don't care. I've taken,
Yes.
like, you gotta post, they cannot all be perfect. People
No.
will think you're some perfect person over there. This isn't Instagram. I have literally uninstalled Instagram. I am done. I'm done trying to fight that. I don't like that platform. Everybody looks perfect over there, and I am not perfect. And that's fine. And people have said to me, oh, well, you can go on there and not be perfect. I'm like, no, that's the platform. I uninstalled it. I'm done with Instagram. So I take pictures that aren't good and I post them all. So it's figuring out when you're feeling your best, take some pictures, like take a bunch of them and then have them for when later on when you go to post stuff. You don't need to take a picture and immediately post it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's
Yep.
the key.
Have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Shoot,
There's a lot
I've
of
gone-
times you don't feel like it.
Right. And I've gone back a year ago and posted some that I've taken a year ago. I'm like, ooh, that's
Yeah.
cool. So you can reuse stuff. Not every single person is going to see every single picture you post. But just figuring out how the angles are best, the lighting, maybe you have a good day, your hair's looking good, or maybe you're having a day where you're just like, screw this. I don't want to put on makeup. I don't want to put on my nice shirt. Take a picture. People are going to see that you're real.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was so freeing to me once I figured out that I didn't have to have full makeup on. I didn't have to have my hair done. I could still be in my pajamas, and I could take a picture of myself and I could post it if I wanted to. I think that if you think you have to show up perfect every time you take a picture, that's putting a whole heck of a lot of pressure on yourself, because then you're going to hide more than you step out. And if you hide, you're not going to build that relationship with your target client, with your audience, with your ideal avatar. She's got to know that you are like her. She doesn't
Because-
roll out of bed every morning with perfect hair and makeup. So why are you pretending that you roll out of bed every morning with perfect hair and makeup?
Yeah,
Why are you-
so let's ask the question. Let's ask the question. Do you do your hair and put makeup on every single day?
Oh, no.
No.
Listeners, answer the question. No. So don't think you have to take good pictures or go live or be present. You don't, because I don't. I put it on probably 4, maybe 3 times a week. And this week I'm putting it on a little bit more because I'm doing more things and going out. Because I put makeup on because it makes me feel good. I feel more confident with it. I don't do it for other people. I do it for me. It's like, and that's another thing. That's like, we could go on this whole self-love topic, but we're not going there today.
Not today.
Number 4 is educate yourself on the daily. You must educate yourself to be present, to learn more, to grow more. So do you want, one of you want to touch on this a little bit? Educating yourself?
Well, I think a lot of it too has to do with if you're going to be out there. I mean, you could take the education thing several ways.
Mhm.
It could be education on how you present yourself, what you want to do, your style, all that type of thing. But educating also being on the topics that you want to talk about, make sure that you have meat and substance to them versus just, you know, a generic comment.
Or throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks.
Hoping it will
Like, oh, we'll
stick.
try
Exactly.
this. But yeah, it's like
Right.
basically learning about what you're educating people about, or learning about what it is you're teaching about, and all those things, which Anna does an amazing job at this.
She does.
Aw.
Definitely.
With women's cycles, like I'm learning a ton, and she is educating herself on it so then she can help other women. Because I don't want to sit there all day long learning about this stuff. I'm going to teach what she's learned, you know?
Exactly.
I'm over here learning my own thing, you know?
Yep.
So when you learn from others because they're into it, like it's not a passion of mine. Yes, I want to know about my cycle more. I want to do better with it, but I'm not going to sit here and do what she's doing and how much she's learning. And so that's why it's amazing to learn from other people, because they're going to give you like the meat of it, you know?
Mhm. So this, I think a sub layer to this is a lot of women they don't know what they want to teach about. If you're like, well, just educate yourself more on the daily about the topic you want to teach about, they're like, whoa, I don't even know what I want to teach about. So this is a key part of developing your brand, your message, your here's what I do statement, here's the women I want to teach, etc. I mean, imagine walking into a high school, and at any given point during that day, there are classes going on for specific topics. And those topics are then taught by 5 to 10 different teachers. Like you could go into 6 different math classes, depending if you like that teacher, if you like that specific topic, you like that specific math. So don't think that, like, let's say, I mean, think about that lady who's good at selfies, right? Who would have known that she could create a business around teaching people how to take a selfie? But she realized there were people walking into that school saying, I need a class on how to take a selfie. Where can I go for that? So think about what you want to teach your class about. And as the teacher, you're going to be teaching to the students who want to be in your class because they chose that topic. You can't teach math, science, history, and PE at the same time. That's spaghetti at the wall. You got to figure out what's your topic you want to be known for. And if you're not sure, pick something and try it out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's it could be as simple as this. Like, for example, if let's say I wanted to become known for car maintenance, which I don't. Okay, I want to be known for car maintenance. And you're like, well, taking care of my car really is interesting to me. I get really lit up when I talk about it. I overhear people talking about, oh my gosh, I hate change. Like, I wish I could just whatever, like, make my car run better. And you go, oh, I want to tell them about all I know. You know, whatever
Changing
the topic
the
might be.
oil, like
Yeah,
all
whatever
that.
it is.
So here's a recommendation. Go to your library or your book source and get a book on that topic. And then just start every day taking one fact that you have learned from that book and post it to your profile. And you can literally start it out by saying, did you know, and throw a fact out there. It really is as simple as that. And if after 5, 6, 7 days, you're like, well, this sucks. I hate this topic. This is way boring. I do not enjoy teaching about this. I don't want to talk to people about this. Then go get a different book, right?
Yep,
It's
you can
okay.
change.
It's okay to try stuff out. Nobody on social is keeping track of what you do that closely. It's
Mm-mm.
not until you find that book that matches the topic that truly lights your fire that you're going to want to do it every day. You're like, oh, I can't wait to come back on here and talk about this. So is of, did you know? Oh my gosh, I found this super interesting. You might feel like, well, maybe I want to go live and talk about this. And I want to like just chit chat with people about all the stuff I'm learning about my car. And that's how you build the audience. Because you're educating yourself, you'll have something to talk about. Find something you love talking about, drop facts every day about it. And the people who want to take your class will start showing up. And the people who don't want to take your class, they'll go sit down the hall in Mrs. Jones's class and learn about something else.
Exactly.
That like was a perfect explanation. And it made it so much easier because I think we tend to overcomplicate stuff. And I will admit it, I did it in the beginning. When I first started growing my audience, I overcomplicated it. I thought I had to do all these things and teach on all these topics. And yes, in the end, it was niched down to one specific thing. Like I wanted to help women build their confidence online, but I wanted to be there for everybody. And you can't. It's impossible. So it's figuring it out along the way and not being afraid to change things up, switch things. Like Anna, like you said, people are not sitting here going, oh, she was talking about this and now she's talking about this. Like, no, your audience is just doing their thing just like you're doing yours. So just try it until it clicks and you're like, yes, this is it. That's how you figure it out. So
and it's going to take time. It is,
exactly.
Yep, it's going to take time. So don't quit after 5 days and don't quit after 2 days and don't quit after 2 weeks and after a month. It has taken me a year to figure out what lights me up to talk about it. But I've been learning about this stuff now for like 8 months, right? So you got to educate yourself on the daily.
And this leads
All right, what's next?
And this leads into number 5, keep your profile looking sharp. Because once you start doing all this and stepping out, people are going to come to your physical profile. Like we're talking about personal profiles. I'm not talking about a business page. You don't need a damn business page. Oh my God. Nope. Stop inviting me to your business pages because I don't want to be a part of your business page. I want to see you. And a lot of people, go ahead. Yeah, and a lot of people.
No, keep going. I'm just agreeing over here.
And a lot of people think that, oh, well, I have a business. I need to have a business page. And then you feel like you have to be professional. No. So use your personal profile to build an audience. And if you get big enough or when you get big enough, yes, use that because yes, business pages have so many more options for people, but do not start there. It will take you forever. It's no. So your personal profile, make sure it's looking good, your cover photo. And I've said this in past episodes. I did a little tip on, building your cover photo and your profile picture. Use Canva, get creative, start playing with colors, start putting things out there and just seeing how it feels. And eventually your brand will evolve and all these things start to happen. So just start small. Your bio is very important, making sure it's short, sweet, to the point of what you do. And do you know how many times I've changed my bio? Hundreds. And it took me that long to get to exactly what it is now. And I promise you it will stay there for quite a while. So, and yeah, it may change
Same for me.
a little bit. Yeah, it may change a little, but it's because all three of us have not been afraid to step out, to try something new, and to just shift and pivot and change. And it has allowed us to figure out exactly what we are meant to do. So your profile must be looking good. It doesn't need to look professional, but it needs to represent you so that when people come to your profile, they're like, oh, This is who Anna is. Okay, I can get to know her.
Yeah, and I feel like that might be a topic for a totally another episode, is like, how do you figure out what colors to use and what images to use and how big to make it, etc. You know what? There's probably a class out there that some teacher is teaching on how to design a cover photo for your Facebook profile page. Just saying. You know, and don't be afraid if you are on somebody's page and you're like, holy bananas, that's an amazing cover photo. I wish I knew how to do that. There's a button called Messenger, like message people, push it, jump on over there and be like, I saw your cover photo, it was beautiful, and I wish I could make one like that. Could you like tell me how you did it or what program you used? And they're probably more than happy to share, right? Most people I don't think are outsourcing that work. And so if they have a beautiful one that you love, they're probably doing it themselves. Now, if you do want to outsource that, there are people who do that. Literally people who will make them for you. It's probably a small charge, but if that's not your thing, it is somebody else's thing. And I'm sure they'd be happy to take your $50 or whatever it end up being to do it for you.
Exactly.
That's so funny. I'm having trouble with my phone, my too.
My earbuds keep falling out. It's probably some sound thing that our sound editor is going to be like, what is that? Seriously.
So I
What's the next one?
Next.
So we did 5. I think we should do the next 10 within the next 15-ish minutes and make it continue. Make this 2 episodes. Do you think?
Yes.
Because all 10 in one is going to be a lot. And I think we can make 2 episodes out of this. So episode 10 and 11. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So
you want me to transition us back in?
Yeah, transition us back in, Anna.
Well, but do you want to just stop there? That's 5.
Yeah, I know. And we'll do the next 10 right now.
Next
5.
5.
I see what you mean.
And it can be another episode.
Yeah, so we'll do 5 in episode 10, and we'll do 5 in episode 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
So transition.
Do you see this is not a rock star though?
I'm so proud of you, Kelly. So proud of you.
I need the reinforcement, Amanda.
Okay.
The obliger.
Good job.
Yes. Good job. All right, let's transition.
Okay, next.
Okay.
We're jumping back in with the next 5 ways on how to build an audience on social media. The first 5, we gave you so much value and information, there just wasn't enough time to continue the second 5. So here we go, let's pick it back up. What is number 6?
So number 6 is respond to every comment on your post. You're like, whoa. Oh, what? That's whoa. So that also brings me into how many times do you think you can post in a day so that you're able to reply to all these comments? I'm going to bring you back to about 2 years when I would post 3, 4, 5 times a day. And I was getting a lot of interaction, a lot of comments, and it was overwhelming. So know that when you first start this, to post as many posts as you know you can keep up with when people start commenting. That is key, because you don't want to sit here and ignore these comments. And I'll go back a day later. Don't think that, oh my God, somebody commented. And we talked about this on the past episode. The second somebody comments, do not feel like you have to immediately comment.
No, but I do, but I really, when you do have to comment, and like you said, it doesn't have to be right away, but, and there's like, I listened to something, Larissa the other day, and she just last night, marked that she, made some comment. But even though I did it 2 days ago, I was so like, oh, she responded back to me. That was so great. So people do look for that. They want that. Well, especially us obligers, we want that reinforcement. Yeah. And I want to listen to another one now because I know that she knows that I'm engaged and I feel like she's talking to me as an audience. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's, what your audience is thinking as well. If you don't engage them, then they think, oh, well, she's not talking to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's if they take the time to do more that, well, first, in order to get to them to actually post a comment, they had to have you show up in their feed. And then they had to stop their scroll and read what you wrote or look at your picture. Then they had to think about it Then they had to actually move their fingers to type the type, getting past maybe some fears or whatever. And then they had to push the, the enter button, whatever that looks like. There were a ton of steps that are required from getting them to just enter your space.
Scrolling. Yeah, they
And
could have
that,
kept scrolling.
they could have just kept scrolling, and that deserves respect. And on my part, I want to be known as a person who respects that time and energy they gave me. And so I'm going to give that respect, that time back. Now, if there are people that I specifically know, oh my gosh, they are literally the person I want to work with, well, I might, make sure that I'm going to their profile pages and make sure I'm commenting on their stuff. There is that too. You can be a person to going out and posting on other people's stuff. All the way to the other end of the spectrum where, like, if you or Kelly makes a comment on one of my posts, I might not respond back to you right away. I might get the others first because I know you already. We've built this relationship. I'm not ignoring you, and I'll circle back. Or if I notice, on a live video that Kelly has commented 15 times, I'm not going to have to respond to every 15. I can heart and like several and then just pick one that I want to respond to, even if it's just a thank you so much for watching. I loved that you took time to be here. So you're going to have to find your way in figuring out, how do I respond to every comment in a way that respects the time and energy that they took, as well as investing my time and energy in the relationships I'm wanting to build. Gary Vaynerchuk, I learned that lesson from him. Like, he built his audience because he would be up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning on Twitter responding to every tweet comment. Now that to me is a little insane for what I can do in my life, but the principle is there, is if they took time to comment to you, you need to take time to comment back.
Mm-hmm.
I love
And
it.
you could even, not to toot my own horn, but I guess I took it a step further. I have somebody that is present on pretty much every live that I do. She interacts on my profile. She's present. I actually reached out to her in Messenger and left her a voice message saying,
yes,
thank you. You are amazing. You're always present. You're showing up. You're commenting. You're giving me, you make me feel like amazing. Thank you. I mean, you could take it a step further and do that. So it looks different for everybody. And you're going to figure out your own way of doing this. It's not us telling you this is what you have to do, but these are ideas that you can do to continue to build your audience, because people want to know that they're being heard, that they're being seen, that they're being recognized, that their voice matters. And they're taking the time, like you said, Anna, to comment, to take all those steps.
Yeah.
Give them the respect that they deserve, just like they gave you the respect.
So, and it's important because I'm going to just shout out one person and I know you guys all know her, Amber Crofts.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like, how many groups
She's amazing.
does she be in? Because she's in mine and Anna's group. She's in your group, Amanda. She's comments on our personal pages. But if you guys want to see an example of somebody who not only does her own thing, because I'm in her group too, unfortunately the algorithms haven't been showing a lot for me because that is my bad, have not been commenting on her stuff as much. But that just goes to show you have to have that even relationship so that you can be out there. So therefore, I know that person, with her brand and what she does, if I know somebody who's struggling in the area that she works with, I can go ahead and say, oh, Anna, you should go and talk to Amber because this is her strength, because she's commenting on my stuff and she's commenting on some other things that I see in other people's group. And it's like that social person, you get your name out, but it also shows that they're genuine, they care, they take the time to do that. And that her comments are good. They're not like, oh, thanks, and she's gone, you know what I mean? So that's a really good example of people want to see too, besides the three of us, of somebody who goes and really works groups and really works personal pages.
Well, and that's her niche. She teaches about that. That's what she does. She helps introvert moms. Yeah, she helps introvert moms on social media build an audience. So we'll drop her information in the show notes down below because she does a really great job at it. So if that's something you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to take her class. I want to go sit in her classroom. We'll go sit over in her classroom.
Absolutely.
We know she's awesome. Yeah.
She is. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So,
had to do that shout out.
Next one.
Yeah. So number 7 is brag about and highlight others. Which
Didn't we
kind
just
of
do
just
that?
do. Yeah. So that's something that I've always loved to do. I always love to recognize
that
other
great.
people
Mhm.
and talk about other people because we all have different strengths. Like I felt like in the beginning when I first started this and got into the network marketing space, I'm like, oh geez, if I talk about other people, they might go to her instead of me. So it's like that selfish mindset of, oh no, I can't talk about other people because then they're gonna just, So that was something that I had to work through. And I knew that that was a struggle. Like I had to do some inner work. So if you're still at that stage, you're like, I can't talk about other people because I just know. Recognizing other people is so important when you're growing an audience online, when you're growing a business, because it just is. Like, if one of you want to go more into it, but I love to talk about other people because I know exactly what I can do, but I also know what other women can do. And if I can't help you with that, I'm going to talk about these other people.
Right. It's sort of like when you ask like your friend, do you have a recommendation for a doctor?
Right.
And they give you a really good doctor. Well, you're going to go back to them and ask them for the really good dentist. And then you're going to ask them, I mean, they may have nothing to do with those fields, but you're going to keep going back to them or keep watching them or listening to them because you know what they're sharing with you are really good recommendations. So not only does it help the person that you're sharing, but it also helps build your value of knowledge of I have other resources that I can share with you that are really, really good.
And this brings me in. Go ahead, Anna.
All right. I always go to like, how can I practically apply that? The ladies just heard, all right, recommend other people, but how do I do that? If you're super nervous about talking about or recommending other people who work in the same space as you, don't start there. It's okay. You don't have to start there. Start with the pants you love. Start with the eyeshadow that you just adore. Start with this new mixer you bought. Like you can literally recommend and talk about anything as practice. It doesn't have to have a fancy picture. It can it can literally just be a 3-sentence post of, oh my gosh, I found these amazing new pants at Gap and they're having a sale right now. What do you love? What do you look for when you go buy a pair of jeans? Like it's literally as easy as that. And then you can create conversation, apply all the other things. So don't get stuck in your own head of, oh, I have to do this perfectly in order to do it. You don't. Just start talking about your pants. Start there.
I mean, everybody needs pants.
Everybody wears pants. Not everybody wears underwear, so don't start there.
No.
That's funny.
So it kind of leads me into talking about platforms, and this is one of them. The platform doesn't matter, you do. So talking about platforms, I have grown to love TikTok, and I started with it in October and November, and kind of just and now I'm really into it. But I bought a guide from Leslie, and we will drop her info because this guide helped me so much. She created something so that it makes TikTok easier for you to use, and it gives you all the tips right off the bat to build your profile, to do all these things. And I recommend that to everybody because TikTok is creating some momentum. They're getting bigger. And I don't want to sit and teach you how to use TikTok. I tried for a little while. I'm like, this is not my thing. I don't want to do this. It's too frustrating. So I'm like, no, but I know somebody that can help you. So here's her stuff. Go get her guide. There you go. So
Amanda,
go ahead.
Amanda, I gotta stop you for a second. So does this guide work? What kind of audience are you building on TikTok?
So this guide works. I went viral. I went viral on TikTok, but it's because of a banana.
Oh, I know. It was so funny. So my daughter goes, Mom, that looks like that friend of yours. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she shows me this picture. I didn't even know. I don't, somehow I missed that you went viral, but I learned from my 12-year-old.
Oh God.
It's
not even like, again, this takes us into everybody in life, like feels like they have to turn something into being sexual. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's a banana. You know
Okay.
how weird it
I-
is.
I
You
saw
sit
it.
there and you're peeling your banana and you're like, oh
Yep.
God, how should I eat this? Like, people are gonna look at me. I'm gonna shove this thing in my mouth. I just said, screw it. But I had watched this lady, like she's sitting in her car, and this is how I got the idea. See, that's the thing. When you're on TikTok, you can learn from other people and get ideas and then make it your own. You don't have to
Mhm.
copy people. A lot of people copy people, that's fine. But I like to be original and do my own thing, and that's just me. But she's sitting there peeling this banana in her car, and she's looking around, and on the caption it says, "You know that feeling you get when you just know people are looking at you when you're going to eat a banana?" And she actually broke the banana off and then ate it. And that's normally how I eat a banana. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it the other way. And I'm just going to say, screw it. I have 45,000 views on that one video. I'm like, this is weird. And I gained well over 200 followers because of it.
Mhm.
Now, granted, they are a bunch of men. Oh, well, let them watch. They ain't getting much more than that. This is not a
Nope.
peep show. And I
Right.
even did a video on that. So it's building momentum. Oh, well, it's a bunch of creepy men. If they are, maybe they are nice men, whatever. They're not going to come and hunt me down. Like, I'm not freaked out about it. It doesn't bother me. It's just going to gain me momentum. And then when I continue to start videos, maybe this is evolving into my brand. I thought to myself, I'm going to start using this banana thing to my advantage. Maybe I need to like build on this, capitalize on this. It's a freaking banana. Oh, well. So it's been fun, but I don't want to teach people how to grow on TikTok. Leslie can. And she has an amazing guide that will help you set up your TikTok, figure out hashtags, do all the things. So again, a perfect example of shouting other people out. It's so easy when you bought something from somebody and it works for you. I mean, I could sit here and rattle off probably 5 people like that I've built relationships with, that I've bought products from, that I've done things with. So just start putting yourself out there and testing things and trying new things and being open to trying people's, if it's something you need, get with them. Be like, I need it. Let's do this.
Mhm.
So
Um,
this leads us into give
Oh.
more. What?
Could
What?
I say something?
Yes.
Because
Oh.
no, it's okay. I literally had this conversation with somebody who is in the same company as I am. She wants to be on Facebook. She wants to be on Instagram. She wants to be on TikTok. She wants to be on LinkedIn. She wants to be on Twitter, and she wants to be on YouTube. Amanda's shaking her head.
Yeah, that.
Girl, it's not the platform that's going to bring you your audience. It's you. Pick one.
Yes.
Get good at it.
Yeah.
Then
that
try
was-
something else. If you try to be all places all the time, like it's going to suck for your audience and for you. So find one that just you really find it intuitive to use and make your home there.
Pick one. Because one
One.
of my clients, we just started working together. She was on every single platform known to man. She's like, I got to reach everybody. I got to be for everybody. She has been in her business for 2 years and she has not made a single dime because she is trying to be for everybody. And you can't. So pick the platform, play with it, take some time with it. I've been building on Facebook for 5 years.
Has it been
5 years.
that long? Wow.
Yeah. From beginning, 5 years. And you know how many times I have failed and made mistakes and lost tons of friends? But I have not given up because I know this is what I'm meant to do. And now I've evolved into what I am now. And I wouldn't have if I quit. Because when you can fail a million times over, but when you quit on not only yourself, but the people that are following you. So be there for them and pick a platform, give it time. And if you don't like it, try something else.
Mhm.
But being on every platform is not going to benefit you. You're going to get burnt out. You will get exhausted. So that's great advice. I'm glad you brought that up, Anna. So this goes into number 8, give more than you want to receive. You have got to give. Gary Vee is a perfect example of this.
Yes.
He gives so much value, so much of himself that people just want whatever it is he has. Like he's built an entire business around just giving. It's incredible.
I think where I have been in this place before, I'm sure you too as well, and I know people ask this question. They say, well, how much do I give away for free? Because if I give too much away for free, then they're not going to want to buy what I have to offer. Girl, that is a lack mentality. It is
Mhm.
not a mentality of abundance. There will always be enough. There will always be more. And that's what I've grown to experience is I simply am a messenger. I have to be doing my daily professional development, right? Educating myself on the daily, filling myself up, and that just flows through. The only one that is going to stop your flow of knowledge and information is yourself, not the person on the other end listening. They're just they're going to soak up all you have, and then at some point you're going to have an offer that costs money, and they're going to say, "Yes, I want that because I've learned so much from her already." It could be a total rehash of everything you've been teaching the last 5 years, just bundled up in one pretty place, and they'll buy it, even though they've heard it 100 times.
Mhm.
So don't get stuck in the, oh, how much do I give away for free? You just keep giving.
And and like you said, I was stuck on this for a long time. I held so much back because I was like, well, if I give all this away, why would they want to buy what I have? Why would they want to hire me if I'm giving all this away? You cannot give too much away because what's going to happen is when they get into your space and they actually pay you, they then gain your one-on-one expertise. They cater it to specifically you. Like, I don't believe in buying a system. I believe in building and buying a foundation. You're
Yep.
buying something and that person, you're buying their energy so that you can get into their space so that you can then learn more one-on-one with them to cater exactly what your business wants to look, what you want your business to look like. So don't think you ever, like, I give so much more away now because I'm like, screw this. I'm just going to give it all away. I'm going to, then people know exactly what to expect when they do get into my space. Because,
I'm just
yeah.
I'm just about to launch my first kind of pretty package program. There's literally going to be no new information in there that they haven't heard from me over the last, 6 weeks, 4 months. The
Mm-hmm.
information is all the same. What they get as part of that pretty package called a program, a course, a webinar, whatever you're putting that format into, is they're getting one-on-one time with me. They're getting the opportunity to apply what they've been learning. And that is the key zone of putting themselves in that small, pretty package place is they've been consuming. Now it's time to apply. And they have a mentor right there to help them with their questions, their guides, their encouragement, etc. So I would not have gotten to the place I've gotten if I hadn't have been teaching about this for so long. And I just keep giving and giving. As I learn more, I teach more. As I learn more, I teach more. I learn more, I teach more. And now they get a chance to apply. Do I know really what I'm doing? Yes and no. I know, like, I've been working through this a little bit of like this fear of what if it doesn't work? Like, Anna, I've been
Oh, it
talking to Kelly
works.
about this.
It works.
Right. No, I mean, like, what if this coaching package doesn't work? What if people come into my space and they're like, Anna, this sucks. You lied to me. Like, don't those thoughts go through your head
Yes.
when you're launching a program or you're launching a package? Like it's like, I mean, I used to be a Spanish teacher in high school. I never once questioned that my curriculum was effective. I knew when they came into that class, I would teach this, and this. This is how we would move forward. This is how they would apply it. And by the time they walked out that door, they would be able to pass the final exam. Totally confident. I have to do that with what I'm launching, what I'm doing. And if there's any woman out there who's listening, who's like, well, I would really like to put all my stuff that I teach into a pretty package and sell it, or even just run it for free one time to see. I mean, and there's people that give opinions about doing that or not. So you can figure out how you want to launch your pretty package the first time. You just got to go for it, because the people are there probably 50% for what you're teaching, and the other 50% is you.
Very
Mm-hmm.
true. If even that low, because you already gave it away free. So really, I would believe that it's 70% you, because you've already given them the information. They want you to be a part of that because they trust you. They've seen the information you have. They like it. Doesn't matter if it's the same, but now you are the one who's helping it with them, and people value that so much.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure.
No, it's fine. It goes back to what we've talked about in previous episodes, is that nasty negative voice in your head telling you you can't, but you got to tell it you can. and that you just go back to those moments in your past, whether they're recent past or they're past, of where you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is what you were supposed to be doing. And you just go back and you touch on those points, and then you gain that foundation back of, I may feel lost right now and I may feel afraid, but my foundation is really solid. So I'm just going to keep going forward. And, if you're a spiritual person, you pray and you lean on, the divinity that you ascribe to. And if you are somebody who doesn't do that, then you rely on just that inner conviction and intuition that is there, to just move yourself forward. And you know what? If it fails, I guess I'll learn something.
And we'll
Isn't that what the next one?
perfectly into number 10 is
Yes.
be willing to fail daily. You
Mhm.
have to, or you will not grow. You will not move to that next level if you aren't willing to fail and mess up. People aren't going to laugh at you. They're going to be like,
Nope.
dang, she tried all this stuff and it's gotten her to here. Well, shoot. So you always have to be willing to fail. My internet connection is unstable. Do not leave us, please. Okay.
Okay. I thought it was me, so I wasn't going to say anything. I just kind of held my breath.
I got to talk to my internet.
It's like, oh, is she coming back?
Hello, internet.
No, but it's so true.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that? There's like this meme, I don't know, cartoon, and it's like a box, and there's different people, and there's like this cliff. I know, look, I'm going to try and explain it. And this person has like 4 steps. This person has like 6 steps. This person has 8. This person has 12. And each box says times failed. And the only person that made it to the top was the person that failed the most. And this is exactly what we're talking about. It's because they tried those extra times, they actually made it, but they still had to fail more. It wasn't because they succeeded more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we watch a baby learn to walk. How many times does a baby fall down? We as adults think that everything we try that's new to us, that we're gonna succeed right away. We aren't. We become beginner learners with every new thing we do. And beginner learners fall down and they get back up, and they fall down and they get back up. So we gotta stop expecting ourselves to be experts at everything that we start. We're not going to be.
Mm-mm. And this also goes into, you got to start small before you go big. So many people want all of it right now. Like, oh, I need to do this and I got to do this and I got to do that. You need to start so stupid, simple, small that it's not even funny. Exactly what we were saying in the beginning is trial and error. Pick up a book, watch a YouTube video, figure out something that you think that this could be your thing, and then try it and see if it continues to light you up. And if it doesn't, move on and don't even think twice, because that is exactly what has led me to where I am right now and where Anna is right now and where Kelly's going to moving forward. So it's like, you got to be able to just allow yourself to figure it out along the way and keep moving forward and take a few steps back and then take a few steps forward. So those are the 10 steps. 5 steps today, 10 steps the last episode, or 5 steps the last episode. I can't speak. So that is all the info on how to build an audience. And you can take these in every different, you can jumble these all up. You can try one, try the other. It's all just for you to figure out along the way.
Awesome.
There's no right or wrong way of doing this.
Okay, we good?
We are good.
Hey, Amanda, do you have like 15 more minutes, or do you need to go?
Why? What's up?
Well, I was going to say we could just go into a next one.
Oh,
can't
she
hear
muted
you.
herself.
I can't hear you.
Oh, there.
Right, can you
Okay.
hear-
I don't know
Oh,
how
okay.
it muted me. Yeah, that's fine. I just would like to be, 10 minutes. That's fine. 10, 15. What?
We can do a mini-sode.
Yep,
Let's do a
mini-sode.
mini-sode. Yeah. Okay.
On, what
So
were we going to do it on? What else did you write?
What was the thing that I had mentioned this morning? That's why I put it in there, because I've totally forgot what it is now. Oh, I think too, well, I don't know. This might be too like technical for today, but really making that difference of branding you and the separation of your product, but it's not separate at the same time. Does that make sense?
I
So
think that's too much in one for like
Yeah.
a mini-sode.
Yeah.
We could talk about why it's not the moon's fault.
We could.
That would be way too.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. No.
10-minute. Oh, that's 10-minute each. Important of going big before small. Small changes produce consistent habits. We kind of touched on this stuff.
Yeah. I guess we did everything. Yeah, going small. Huh, okay, well, there you go. That's fine. We got 2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, we
I
got 2
got 5 in the
episodes.
queue. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
fine.
got 5 in the queue. Kelly, are you doing okay with handling all that?
Well, I will do the 3 today. I can't guarantee that my husband will be able to add everything all 3 tonight. I'll try. Actually, I might rearrange. You want to stop recording? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.